Good day, everyone. This is Teacher Cherry. In this video, we will solve quadratic equations by extracting square roots. Ang solving quadratic equations by extracting square roots ang pinakasimpleng way ng pag-solve ng quadratic equations. Pero, hindi lahat ng quadratic equations ay pwedeng isolve gamit ang method na extracting square roots. Applicable lang ang extracting square roots kapag ang quadratic equation ay nasa form na ax square equals c o kaya naman ay the square of the quantity ax plus c equals d, where a, c, and d are real numbers and a must not be equal to 0. Mayroong 4 steps in solving quadratic equations by extracting square roots. These are step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. Let's solve quadratic equations by extracting square roots using these steps. Let us have example 1. Find the solutions of the equation x squared minus 4 equals 0 by extracting the square roots. Let's do step 1. Transform the given equation into the form ax squared equals c. This is the given equation, x squared minus 4 equals 0. So, ang maiiwan dito sa left side ay si x squared. Si constant ay dapat nasa right side ng equation. We apply the addition property of equality. We will add 4 to both sides of the equation para maging 0 itong negative 4 plus 4. Ang maiiwan na lang ay si x squared. 0 plus 4 is 4. We now have x squared equals 4. This is in the form of ax squared equals c. Let's have step 2. Simplify the equation so that the only term with variable remains on the left side of the equation. So, ang step 2 natin ay i-skip na natin dahil ang nasa left side na ay yung merong variable. Ang nasa right side ay yung constant. Let's proceed to step 3. Extract the roots of both sides of the equation. So, this is the given equation. I-square root natin both sides of the equation. We will now have square root of x squared equals square root of 4. And then, simplify. Okay, so, si square root of x squared ay equal sa x dahil si square root at si square ay na-cancel. Equals, positive, negative, ang square root ng 4 ay 2. And then, we will separate the positive and negative result. Paghiwalayin natin si positive and negative 2. First is x equals 2. The second is x equals negative 2. This will be the roots of the equation. The roots or the solutions of the equation x squared minus 4 equals 0. Let's check. Let's proceed to step 4. Check the answers. So, this is the checking part. We will check if the solutions or roots are correct. Paano natin gagawin yon? Isa-substitute natin yung values ng x na nakuha natin kanina sa original equation. Okay, so the first root is 2. Substitute to the original equation x squared minus 4 equals 0. We now have the value of x is 2, then square minus 4 equals 0. Simplify, square of 2 is 4 minus 4 equals 0. We now have 4 minus 4 is 0. It is equal to 0. Since they are equal, it satisfies the equation. So that is true. And then the second root is x equals negative 2. We will also substitute negative 2 to the original equation. X squared minus 4 equals 0. We now have negative 2 squared minus 4 equals 0. We simplify. Square of negative 2 is 4 minus 4 equals 0. And then 4 minus 4 is 0, and then it is equal to 0. So they are equal. Our solution is also correct. That is true. Therefore, our answer, the two solutions or roots of the equation x squared minus 4 equals 0 are 2 or negative 2. Let's have example 2. Solve the equation z squared plus 5 equals 5 by extracting the square roots. This is the given equation, z squared plus 5 equals 5. So the first step is to transform this equation to ax squared equals c. We will apply the subtraction property of equality. We will subtract 5 to both sides of the equation. And then we simplify. We now have z squared equals 0. So, si positive 5 minus 5 equals sa 0. Si 5 minus 5 ay equals sa 0. And then, after that, since ang nasa left side ay may variable and yung nasa right side ay yung constant, let's proceed to the extracting the roots. So, we will extract both sides. We will square root both sides. I-extract natin. Okay. Ang next step is to extract the roots of both sides of the equation. I-square root natin ang both sides of the equation. We will now have square root of z squared equals square root of 0. And then we simplify. Square root of z squared is equal to z. Makakancel si square root at saka si square. Equals, ang square root ng 0 is 0. Therefore, the solution is z equals 0. Let's do the step 4, which is the checking. Ang nakuha nating solution ay 0. We will substitute 0 to the original equation. Z squared plus 5 equals 5. We now have z is 0. So we have 0 squared plus 5 equals 5. And then we simplify. 0 squared is 0 plus 5 equals 5. Okay, 0 plus 5 is 5 equals 5. This is true. 0 satisfies the equation z squared plus 5 equals 5. Our answer, therefore, the solution or root of the equation z squared plus 5 equals 5 is 0. Let's have example 3. Find the solutions of the equation y squared plus 16 equals 0 by extracting the square roots. The given equation is y squared plus 16 equals 0. We will transform this equation into the form ax squared equals c. We will apply subtraction property of equality. We will subtract 16 to both sides of the equation. We simplify. We now have y squared equals negative 16. After that, we will extract the root. We will extract the roots of both sides of the equation. I-square root natin both sides of the equation. We now have square root of y squared equals square root of negative 16. Simplify. Square root of y squared is equal to y dahil na-cancel si square root and square. Equals the positive negative of square root of negative 16. In this equation, we cannot have real roots. Bakit? Dahil mayroong negative number sa loob ng radical sign. Numbers which have negative inside the radical sign are not real numbers. Tandaan natin yon. Kapag merong negative na number sa loob ng radical sign, hindi sila real numbers. Therefore, there is no solution to this equation. Hindi rin natin kailangang i-check yung solution since the solution is not real number. Our answer to this example is there is no real solutions or roots of the equation y squared plus 16 equals 0. Let's have a review from the 3 examples we have earlier. For example 1, x squared minus 4 equals 0. We transform it into x squared equals 4. By extracting square roots, we get x equals 2 or x equals negative 2. We have here 2 real solutions or roots. In example 2, z squared plus 5 equals 5. We transform it into z squared equals 0. By applying the extracting square roots, we get z equals 0. We have here 1 real solution or root. In example 3, y squared plus 16 equals 0. We transform it into y squared equals negative 16. By extracting square roots, we get y equals square root of negative 16. In this equation, we have no real solutions or roots. Therefore, for our conclusion, if c is greater than 0, then ax squared equals c has 2 real solutions or roots. Kapag transform natin sa equation na ax squared equals c at ang c natin ay greater than 0, like 4, so positive integer, meron tayong makukuhang dalawang real solutions or roots. Kapag naman ang c ay equal sa 0, then ax squared equals c has 1 real solutions or roots. Kapag ang equation natin ay in this form at ang c ay equal sa 0, meron lang tayong isang real solution or root which is 0. And kapag naman ang c ay less than 0 or negative integer, then ax squared equals c has no real solutions or roots. Kapag ang equation natin into this form ax squared equals c at ang c ay negative, wala tayong real solution or roots. Like our example 3, this is ax squared equals c, ang c natin ay negative 16. Therefore, no real solutions or roots. Tandaan natin tong tatlong cases na to. If C is greater than 0, we have two real solutions or roots. If C is equal to 0, then the equation has one real solution or roots. And if C is less than 0, the equation has no real solution or root.